ROP or retinopathy of prematurity is progressively becoming one of the most important contributors to preventable blindness of children in India. ROP is not present at birth but develops over time. So, if we proactively screen for ROP in babies at risk, we can detect and, if needed, treat ROP, thus avoiding permanent vision loss. When a baby is born prematurely, like many of the other parts of his or her body, the retina is also not fully developed. Now, as the baby comes out of the body of the mother's womb prematurely, he or she has to be given a lot of special care, extra medicines, oxygen to help him or her survive. Now, when these medicines and oxygen are weaned off, sometimes the retina, which is still premature, starts developing once again and becomes fully mature. However, sometimes this doesn't happen. Either the retina simply doesn't vascularize further, or even if the retina vascularizes, it can stop, and then, more unfortunately, whatever retina has been formed can actually get damaged or detached. All newborns who weigh 2 kilo or less at birth or are born at 34 weeks or less, they must undergo ROP screening according to Indian national guidelines. These standards also stipulate that at least one screening must be completed within the first 30 days of life. The Retina Institute of Bengal started its journey in 2016. Since then, we have prioritized ROP screening and treatment. In 2019, we did a retrospective analysis of our in-house data, and the results were shocking. Remember, it is just not enough to screen a premature baby for ROP. The screening must be done within the first 30 days of life. However, our analysis revealed that nearly half of the babies we screened for ROP were seen beyond 30 days of life, and a quarter of them were seen beyond 60 days of life. Why this delay? Well, all these babies whom we were screening at RIB were being seen by us after getting discharged from the SNCU. As we can expect, the baby who is most sickest, most premature is likely to have a longer stay in the SNCU. Now, these babies are also the ones who are most likely to have a very premature retina and therefore at a higher risk of developing ROP. Now, these babies, therefore, if we have to see them within a month, have to be seen at the SNCU itself. But since all the screening that we were doing were at our center, and these were the babies who therefore were coming to us late. But then why were we not screening all the babies in the SNCU before discharge? The reason was simple. There is now one SNCU in every district of North Bengal, but there are very few eye specialists who are trained to do ROP screening. So, for a baby who is being cared at, say, in Kuch Bihar district, in Mathabhanga SNCU, there is actually no ROP screening person close around. And therefore, if the parents need to have their baby screened for ROP, they have to physically bring the baby to Siliguri for the screening. So the need of the hour is to organize a regular ROP screening program in every SNCU of North Bengal. But then, is that doable? What will be the costs and what will be the impact of such a program? To find the answers to these questions, in 2019, we started a pilot project of SNCU-based ROP screening program in Alipurduar district. This was done in association with Department of Health and Family Welfare, Government of West Bengal, under the leadership of then CMOH Alipurduar, Dr. Puran Sharma. The plan was to physically visit the government-run SNCUs of Birpara and Alipurduar on a regular basis and screen the eligible babies. Unfortunately for us, 1 year later, in 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic struck and the screening program could not be continued. But there were some important learnings. Of the 508 babies screened by us, nearly 14% had ROP and 3% progressed to vision-threatening ROP. Babies who progressed to vision-threatening ROP were treated at RIB. But I will share some interesting data about how we did the treatment later. Regarding analysis of the program itself, when we compared the data from babies screened before COVID with those screened after, once again the importance of timely screening was obvious. The delayed screening due to the lockdown reduced the number of babies screened by half, and even then many of these babies were not screened timely. As a result, the incidence of ROP was 2 times higher and the incidence of sight-threatening ROP was 4 times more during the pandemic. The ROP screening pilot project at Alipurduar highlighted the need for having a regular ROP screening program in every SNCU of North Bengal. It also highlighted the need for timely screening, and it brought out the limitation of a program where the doctor has to physically visit the SNCU, given that there are very few eye specialists trained in ROP screening. How do we treat ROP? So there are 3 types of ROP. One, where the disease progressively becomes worse. Another, where it can rapidly deteriorate. And a third, a mixed type. For the first type, where the disease goes through stages, if detected at an early stage, we can simply do a laser. If, however, there is a more severe presentation, ideally we should give an anti-VEGF injection before the laser. In the second, where the disease doesn't really progress through stage but can rapidly deteriorate, or even the mixed type, anti-VEGF injections have an important role. However, unlike lasers, injections are expensive. Of all the anti-VEGF drug used, bevacizumab, which commercially comes as the name of Avastin, is the cheapest. But for the patients too poor to afford private medical services, like the parents whose babies we were screening in Alipurduar District Hospital, these injections, even the cheapest one, the Avastin, may become very costly. Also, often the injection have to be given in both eyes of the baby simultaneously, adding to the cost. Now, during the Alipurduar project, we realized that this was becoming a challenge. Under Shastro Sathi scheme of Government of West Bengal, the laser treatment could be easily covered. But the anti-VEGF therapy when needed was a challenge. Now, India is now the pharmacy of the world. Made in India drugs are helping to bring down the cost of treatment globally. Now we have a biosimilar, which is like a biological copy of Avastin, which is made in India. This particular product costs 1/4 that of the origin. Though neither Avastin nor this biosimilar is approved for ROP, but given the robust clinical data available in support of the effectiveness of Avastin in treating ROP, we decided to see if the Indian biosimilar was safe and effective too. This led to the BIOS ROP study, which was carried out by us between 2021 to 2023, where 73 babies with sight-threatening ROP requiring injections were treated by the Indian biosimilar of bevacizumab. The results were published early this year, and it shows that the Indian biosimilar is a safe and effective choice to treat sight-threatening ROP. In some cases, the injection alone was enough. In the rest, an additional laser helped to prevent vision loss. Over last 8 years, the work done in ROP at IB highlights the need for regular SNCU-based screening all across North Bengal. For delayed screening increases the risk of blindness. With the availability of cheaper made-in-India drugs, the treatment of ROP has become affordable. The challenge remains, however, how to provide the screening facility all across North Bengal. And to my mind, the only way to do that is by a telemedicine-based program, which can be formulated as a joint venture between the government and private players. So what next? The COVID-19 pandemic disrupted our Alipurduar project. The data definitely highlights the need for regular ROP screening program, but it was not truly representative of entire North Bengal. Now we have decided to embark on the second phase of that project. This time, we are headed south of Siliguri to Islampur. From this Sunday, 21st April 2024, we are starting a regular ROP screening program in the government-run SNCU of Islam. What will be the learning this time? Will we get similar incidents of ROP and sight-threatening ROP? or will we get some different data? Let's see. But whatever happens, I'll definitely share the same in future.